Hi guys, Calvin Strawn here, creator of the Find a Way to Win program, the Audacity program, and the Eruption seminar. Listen, I got a couple questions for you. One, how do you handle your nerves? And how do you manage your performance anxiety? You know those moments where you're with your boss, let's say, and you're going over your business plan, your projections for the year, and you're getting sort of nervous how they're going to respond or react. Or maybe you're going to talk to a client and you're not sure if they're going to like your proposal. Or it's a sales situation where you really need this sale to make your year, and you get nervous if they're going to go for it or not. Or perhaps you want to be in a relationship and you see this person who'd be perfect for you, but now you're nervous about asking them out and going to the next level. You know, we're all the same neurologically, and our nerves can really get the better of us and make our mind race and trip up and make mistakes. I've been there. You know, when I was in university, I was an engineering student, and my first year exams, I could do the math, I could do the equations fairly well, but when it came to the exam situation, for whatever reason, I would get psyched out by the timeline, by the questions, by the way they put the questions together, and I would get thrown off and make a lot of mistakes. Next thing you knew, I actually fell out of the program. True story. Where today now, I've come the full circle, and now I'm able to actually handle pressure like a champ. And not to impress you, but to impress upon you that today I stand in the operating room with a surgeon who's counting on me to know how much bone I'm supposed to resect and where is that implant supposed to go specifically, how high, how low, what direction. I have to know the answers right there on the spot. Super pressure, and I can handle it with ease. How does that happen? Well, here's why. You know, I've done a lot of homework on this, books, studies, papers, you name it, and even work with, thousands of hours of clients. See, there's really two things that stand out. The first one is you want to challenge the validity of your self-talk. What does that mean? Challenge the validity of your self-talk. So when your mind starts going 1,000 miles a minute, I can't do it, I'm not sure, what do I do? Oh my God, and you're thinking so quickly, you want to challenge the validity of what's going on there. So here's an example. One of my clients really wanted to be in an intimate relationship, really desperately wanted to be with a woman. The challenge was approaching and talking to women scared the hell out of him. He's like, Cal, I can't talk to women. I can't talk to them. Now, challenging the validity means I'm the coach on the phone going, you can't talk to women? You're talking right now to me on the phone. I can hear you. You totally can talk to women. Now I know you're kind of going, what's a figure of speech? But interesting thing is, how we speak shapes our world. As you talk, so you become. So if you're talking to yourself, you're saying to yourself, I can't talk to women, I can't talk to women, and you want to approach a woman, what happens? You can't talk to women. It's pretty obvious, right? You want to challenge the validity. Yes, you can talk to women. You can talk to the store clerk. You can talk to your mom. You can talk to your sister, your cousins. You talk to women all the time. Challenge the validity of what's going on there. You know, quite often with other clients, they'll say, I just can't think. I just can't think straight. I just can't think straight. I'm like, you are thinking right now. Does that make sense? So challenge the validity of what's going on for you with that self-doubt is the first step. The second step is to prepare a solution in advance. Okay? So right now, there's no pressure. We're here, you and I, on this video, talking together here. And if you had to say face your boss or go to a sales call or approach someone for a date, you could think of how you would handle it now when there's no pressure. Does that make sense? And it's important to do that because when the moment actually comes, what happens? You're so nervous and that self-talk happens, you might miss it. But if you know what you're going to do in advance, it's a lot easier. Here's an example. You ever seen the movie Bull Durham? I know I'm kind of dating myself there a little bit, but Bull Durham is a great film, baseball film, and Kevin Costner is a bat catcher. Okay, and Tim Robbins is the pitcher, and they're both in the minor leagues trying to get to the majors. And so Kevin Costner is older, and he's kind of mentoring, Tim Robbins on what he should do, how to pitch, what balls to throw exact, etc. And so Kevin would call the shot, fastball, curveball, whatever he's calling, and Tim Robbins would invariably wave him off. And Kevin would get so frustrated that he would tell the batter, he'd say, listen, he's going to throw a fastball. And the batter would be like, okay, well, okay. And so he lines up for a fastball, and sure enough, and what do you think happens next? He cranks that fastball out of the park. Why? Because he knows it's coming. It's so easy to hit the ball when you know it's coming. And the same is true for your nerves. If you know that when you sit down with your boss, that you get a little nervous, start wringing your hands, you start sweating, and you start getting a little distracted, what will you do in advance? Decide now, how will you handle that situation? What will be your solution now? Decide right now. If you're going to ask that girl on a date, ask that guy on a date, and you want to go approach them, and you know you're going to get kind of like verklempt and start mumbling, Decide your solution now. Does that make sense? The same is true for my client. I can't talk to women. I can't talk to women. It's like, first of all, challenge the validity. You're talking right now. Secondly, what will you do if that happens again? He was like, okay, well, I'll say hi. One word. I can say at least one word. And I was like, perfect. So we had him going up to women and saying, hi. Something he could never do before. All of a sudden now he's doing it because he's got the solution prepared in advance. Does that make sense? So the two keys here, how to handle your nerves and how to get past the performance anxiety is A, challenge the validity of what's going on. Challenge the validity of your self-talk. Is it really true that you're freaking out? Is it really true that you're going to lose it? Is it really true that you can't talk? Right? Challenge that validity. And secondly, prepare a solution in advance. So if it does show up, you know exactly what you're going to do. Clear enough? That's great. Those are my 2 tips. I want to hear yours. So please, beneath this video in the comment section, if you could put down how you handle your nerves. How do you manage your nerves, your performance anxiety? I'd love to hear from you to see what it's all about. And I'll definitely write back to you. So for me, if you want to find a way to win, challenge the validity of your self-talk, and put the solution up front. Figure your solution in advance. That's all I have for you today, folks. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one. And as always, find a way to win.